Welcome to SethCraft. I'm currently building a 20 by 30 workshop, and it's time to build a wall that has a door in it. I'm going to be placing this door over here as my main access point, so let's begin this build. The door is going to go approximately where these tools are. There's going to be a midpoint wall right here on the interior, and so I need to have the door that will access this room over here. The wall is going to be 10 foot, going from right here to about right there. So the door will be almost in the center of this. All right, let's go ahead and begin by marking out our top plate and bottom plate. I've picked out a couple of 10-foot boards. I'm going to look down these and see where the crown is, and that's just the part that raises up. Every board's going to have one, and that's going to go up. So just like that, look on this one right here. Same thing right here. All right. And I'm going to make sure those two are lined up flush with each other so that I can do my layout. Now for my layout, I'm going to place my tape measure on top of these boards. And my first stud's going to go here on the end at 1.5 inches. I'm going to move over here to the 16 inch where I'm going to step away by 3/4 of an inch on both sides. And that's going to be where that stud is right there. Now immediately after this, I'm going to put in another stud, and that's going to be going up to the header of my door. So I'm going to move over 1.5 inches over here, and that will be for that queen stud. Now from this point right here, I need to move over 36 inches because that's going to be the width of my door. So here at 36 inch, I'm going to make another mark, and then I need to move over 1.5 inches, and then once again 1.5 inches. So that's going to be another stud right there. That's going to be a queen stud, and then from this point on I need to just mark every 16 inch on center again to finish out the wall. So let me go ahead and mark here at 48 and then continue on down the line. Using my speed square, I'm going to transfer all of those markings to the other side of the other board. All right, I'm going to separate these, put them into pretty close to the position they're going to be whenever I get the wall built here. So the bottom plate goes there, and the top plate goes up here. Now I'm working with 10-foot walls, and so I need to actually cut my boards at 15.5 inch because that's going to account for the double top plate and the bottom plate. So we need a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 of those boards at 115.5 inches. Okay, we need 8 boards at 115.5. So mark there. I like to use my speed square as a guide so that I can keep my circular saw straight on this cut. All right, I'm gonna get these 8 boards laid out here to match up where my studs will be. Now, just like I did with my original top and bottom plate, I also need to check for the crown of each of these studs. And just remember that the crown always faces up. So if I can look down here real quick. So the crown goes up this way. Now I don't have a nail gun, sadly, so I'm going to use a combination of screws and then hammer in some nails for getting these studs onto the bottom plate here. All of those studs are now attached to the bottom plate. Now the average door height is 80 inches, so let's cut 2 boards at 80 inch. 2 boards at 80 inch. These 2 80-inch boards are going to go right here on the side of the door, and that's what's going to hold up the header. Now the header is going to be cut from 2 2x6s sandwiched with some OSB in the middle. I need 2 of these 2x6 boards cut at 39 inches. That's 36 plus an 1.5 and an 1.5 for those queen studs. Now a 2x6 is actually only 5.5 inches, and so I am going to rip down this OSB to 5 inches, and that will allow me to have a little extra gap so it doesn't stick out too far. I can use my speed square on the 5-inch mark here and just run this pencil along. May not be the most smooth cut here on this. Now I only need this to be 39 inches. To make this header, I'm going to place this OSB into the middle of the two 2x6s, as seen like that. Place this on top. Now you do want to make sure that these are flush all the way around. All right, that's looking pretty good. And now I'm just going to use some screws to hold this together. I might flip this over and just put a couple more in there, even though that right there would be plenty strong enough. Now I need to install studs in this space here, 16-inch on center from the original corner there. So let me go right here at 32-inch, and then also at 48-inch. These are called cripple studs. Our king stud here is 115.5 inches. So 115.5 minus 80 minus 5.5 is 30. So we need to have a stud right here along this side as well as over here, and then these two in the middle. So I need to have 4 of them cut at 30 inches. Okay, let me get these into position here. Now it might look a little bit silly to have one so close to another one, but it's actually rather important because of the way 4 foot ends up right there. So let's go ahead and put this one over here. All right, there we go. Because the sun is about to go behind the mountain and we're gonna run out of light, I'm gonna time lapse this for you, but basically I'm gonna lock down these into the end, and then I'm gonna put screws into them this way to lock them into the king stud. Then I'll put screws in here and here to lock the header down to the rest of the frame and get those cripple studs last, and then move down the line on the header piece there. So. The wall is done with the door now, but because I'm working with a 10-foot wall, I have to install fire blocking, and that's just blocks that go between here, and that also adds a significant amount of strength to the door, so, or to the wall in general. So what I'm going to do is take a tape measure, and I'm going to start at the bottom and mark up at the 4-foot and 8-foot marks, and then mark at 8. Now because this door is so close here, I'm going to skip the blocks in here, and I'm just going to put them in the others along here at the 8-foot mark. These blocks are tedious and annoying, so let's go ahead and do one real quick and I'll do the rest without you. So this space right here is 13 3/4, and then this space right here is 13 5/8. Now on this side of the door it doesn't really matter. I'm going to just center that line that was marked. But on the others, I need to offset above and below the line just so that I can access the board to put a screw into it. Well, it is getting dark, but I think we made it. Just got all the blocking done. I'm gonna go ahead and put some of these screws in here to let it be easier to get the wall up once I have it stood. All right, don't put anything in there because that's where the door is. I also like to use some adhesive whenever I put a wall down, so I've got some liquid nails. I'm just going to put a bead of that along here, and I'm going to stop. I may have just gone too far. Let's see. Yeah. This does two things. It helps to adhere the wall to the ground here, but it also helps to keep some bugs from getting in. Okay, I'm going to put a bead of this up the wall as well. I'm going to climb up on the sawhorse here and see if I can't get some more screws in that gap right there to close it off. I put a few more nails in the bottom here to make sure it was nice and secure. It squished out a lot of that adhesive, so I think we are good to go. Very nice. Now you'll notice there's still a board here on the bottom, and that keeps everything correctly spaced. And so I will come back later with a saw and cut that out. But for now, I'm going to leave it as is. Turned out really nice. Staggered boards, extra support, and also gives place for my sheathing to go onto. And that header up there has the piece of OSB in the middle for the extra spacing. Very cool. I like it a lot. I anticipate using that door quite often. It is starting to get dark out here, so I think I'm going to call it quits for today. If you've enjoyed this video on putting a door here in my 10-foot wall for my 20 by 30 shop, then make sure you are subscribed, ring the notification bell, and thumbs up button on this video. If you enjoyed the video, definitely check out the next one, which is going to be doing a double door wall. And if you've missed a video, I've got basically everything that I've done so far on this shop and playlists down below, so check those out. All right, I'm Seth with the SethCraft Workshop, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.